The January 2025 blaze wasn't just another wildfire. It was an unprecedented disaster that tore through Los Angeles, devastating neighborhoods from the Palisades to the Hollywood Hills. Among the more than 150,000 evacuated were celebrities like Paris Hilton, Billy Crystal, and Mandy Moore, whose homes were reduced to ash. Actor Henry Winkler and musician Chris Brown speculated online that arson might have been the cause. However, the Los Angeles Fire Department has stated that, as of now, no foul play was suspected, leaving the question, who or what is truly to blame? Amid the chaos, figures like Jamie Lee Curtis stepped up, pledging millions in relief, underscoring the resilience of the community even as it grappled with profound loss. But the deeper story goes beyond individual generosity or speculation. It's a story of climate, mismanagement, and the systemic choices that left so many families vulnerable when they needed help the most. This tale doesn't start in the hills of Los Angeles. It begins in the farmlands of California's Central Valley, where two billionaires, Linda and Stuart Resnick, built a farming empire unlike any other. Linda Resnick isn't just a businesswoman, she's a visionary. At 19, she started her advertising agency. By her 30s, she was reinventing industries, pairing flowers with keepsakes at Teleflora, and turning pistachios into a household snack with the Get Crackin' campaign. In 2004, she and her husband Stuart acquired Fiji Water, a fledgling bottled water company, and quickly transformed it into a premium brand recognized worldwide. And then there's Palm Wonderful. Before Linda, hardly anyone knew what a pomegranate was. Now it's everywhere, from juices to supplements to cosmetics. She's brilliant at making us want what we didn't even know we needed. But it's not just marketing. Linda and her husband Stuart own Paramount Farms, one of the largest agricultural operations in the country. Their orchards of almonds and pistachios span over 121,000 acres. And here's the kicker. Those trees need over 130 billion gallons of water a year. That's more water than the entire city of Los Angeles uses annually. It's not just the scale that's striking, it's where that water is going. Here's something most people don't realize. Much of California's almonds and pistachios are exported, with a significant chunk heading to China. There's a booming demand overseas for premium California nuts, especially pistachios. So while California struggles with water shortages, we're essentially shipping billions of gallons of our water abroad, hidden in bags of nuts. For families in drought-stricken neighborhoods already facing rising water bills, that's a tough pill to swallow. So, is it worth it? On one hand, these crops bring in billions of dollars every year. Almonds rake in nearly $4 billion, with pistachios not far behind at $3 billion. On the other hand, the environmental cost is staggering. Almonds alone use about a gallon of water per nut. Pistachios, while a bit less demanding, still place a heavy strain on our already depleted resources. And it's not just water. These operations are causing land to sink, soil to degrade, and small farmers to struggle as they lose access to affordable groundwater. The Resnick's role goes even deeper. In 1995, they gained control of the Kern Water Bank, a massive underground reservoir initially developed as a public emergency water resource. This transfer occurred after a controversial deal with the state, where the Resnicks and other agricultural interests exchanged junior water rights for operational control of the water bank. Designed to provide critical reserves during crises, the Kern Water Bank was soon repurposed under private management to support large-scale agricultural operations. This shift has ignited debates about whether water, our most vital resource, should ever be privatized, particularly in a state plagued by droughts and wildfires. The consequences of this privatization became painfully clear in January 2025, when wildfires tore through California. The importance of water management was undeniable as critical resources were already stretched thin. In Los Angeles, another crisis unfolded. The Santa Ynez Reservoir, a key water source capable of holding 117 million gallons, stood empty due to maintenance. In its absence, fire hydrants ran dry in key areas, leaving firefighters scrambling to contain the flames. As one firefighter noted, a full reservoir wouldn't have stopped the fire, but it could have slowed it down. The parallels are striking. While the Kern Water Bank has the capacity to store billions of gallons, it was primarily used to serve agricultural needs rather than public emergencies. This stark divide between water allocated for profit and water needed for protection highlights a troubling imbalance. In a state battling climate change and mismanagement, the lack of accessible water in the fight against these fires only deepened the disaster. Nature wasn't helping either. Santa Ana winds, with gusts exceeding 60 miles per hour, fanned the flames and pushed them through parched landscapes. California had just endured one of its driest winters in decades, leaving the land tinder dry and primed to ignite. Conditions were so extreme that some firefighting planes were grounded, unable to take off safely. By the time crews arrived, the fire had already consumed vast areas, making containment nearly impossible. The damage was catastrophic. Over 2,000 homes were reduced to ashes, and losses are projected to exceed $150 billion. But here's the most sobering part. Majority of the destroyed homes weren't insured. Skyrocketing premiums in fire-prone regions had forced many families to forgo coverage. One homeowner explained, "We thought we were covered, but full insurance just wasn't realistic anymore." This widespread lack of insurance left families with no safety net, compounding the tragedy. But the issues didn't stop there. Even before the fires, systemic decisions had already stacked the odds against effective disaster response. In December 2024, Los Angeles Fire Chief Kristen Crowley warned city officials that budget cuts had left the department underprepared for emergencies. Just weeks later, her fears were realized as fire crews, stretched thin and underfunded, struggled to combat a disaster far beyond their capacity. Despite these challenges, over 7,500 firefighters fought tirelessly, deploying more than 1,100 engines and dozens of aircraft. Among them was the CL-415, a specialized plane designed to scoop water from lakes and drop it on the flames. It's a marvel of engineering, but even cutting-edge technology couldn't halt the devastation. So what do we take from this? California's wildfires aren't just about dry winds and high temperatures. They're about the choices we make, how we manage water, fund infrastructure, and prepare for a world that's getting hotter and drier every year. Billion-dollar farming practices have drained resources needed for emergencies. Climate change has supercharged the flames, and a lack of insurance has left families with no way to rebuild. These fires are a wake-up call. If we want to protect our communities, we need to rethink how we use water, prepare for disasters, and confront the realities of climate change. The stakes couldn't be higher. The silent elephant in the room remains. Should water be privatized for profit at the risk of the general public? Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth looks at the issues shaping our world. Together we can spark change.